People have to have something to do. Whether it gives them purpose or just occupies time, people have to have goals. Brian, Kevin, and myself decided to confirm this suspicion by interviewing people who picked up new habits and hobbies during quarantine.
My name is Lois Rosen.
My name is Ali Frankel.
And I'm a knitter.
My business is called Filmmaker Essentials.
I knit usually in my spare time. I knit hats and sweaters and gloves and socks and scarves and things for people that can be used, my children, friends. But I've never knit anything other than wearing apparel or a blanket or baby clothes or something like that.
In 10 days, we give participants basically the experience of the whole filmmaking pipeline, where everybody makes a 2-minute video, and everyone, each person makes their own 2-minute short that they take it from idea to storyboards to writing to everyone takes it through each step until they're even doing sound, color grading, and then have a short to present at the end of the week.
I saw a book which featured these animals that are made by knitting, and I'd never done anything like that. And I thought, well, this would be a time to start something or try something that I've never done before with knitting needles during the pandemic, because I have all this time, not going anywhere. So I gave it a go.
One day I was sitting in quarantine and I was doing post-production for a short that I had made, like a 20-minute short. I was been working on post-production, was taking on a lot of the work myself that usually other people would do because it was COVID and it was unexpected. Unexpected that I would just be in my house with a hard drive on the wrong side of the country and had to just be piecing it together on my own, and was suddenly learning much more than I ever expected about sound, color grading, all these post-production steps. And then it just was like, oh wow, it came to me like it could be really interesting to design a program where people get to experience each step of the process. And even if the idea is not to make a masterpiece, but the idea is just to see, just to experience each step and see what do they even like, what might they be good at, that they're surprised by, and that everything's so accessible now, that you download Premiere Pro or even iMovie and you can make a movie, just so to let people really be hands-on.
I made 6 of these, one for each of my 3 children plus their significant other. And my son wanted a hedgehog. And thankfully, in the book that I used by Louise Crowther, there was a hedgehog. But as you can see, he's full of these spikes, which take a very long time to do just each one, because each one requires you to cast on a certain number of stitches and then immediately cast them off again. So you're going around this entire little body with casting on, casting off, casting on, casting off the whole time. So it takes a very long time. And I got very discouraged and thought, okay, this is way too much for me. I did it though.
The biggest challenge was recruitment. After we pretty quickly exhausted our immediate networks of people. And so then it became difficult, like, okay, how now, without paying for a lot of advertising, how are we going to get the word out? So we had to get a little creative about different Facebook groups, different forums, like basically figure out how to find people to sign up. I do not think I would have started this class if it weren't for quarantine. No.
Absolutely not. I mean, knitting, yes, but not these animals. I would never have had the courage or the freedom to just try it and make mistakes. I figured if it doesn't work, I can rip it out and try it again, which it's not so easy to do that when you're trying to get a sweater done for somebody who needs it.
I think it's good to have something that you really enjoy doing always, when possible, even if, say you work full time and it's not a job that you love, to still have some sort of hobby or pastime that just gives your life a little energy or a spark. And it might turn into something bigger than just that too.
Everyone should have a hobby. And I think hobbies are good, that as this one is, where you can expand it to try something new with the skill that you have. So I pushed myself a little bit during the quarantine, instead of just doing the regular scarves or socks, to try something very different with the skills that I already had.
I think COVID can be a good lesson for people, in that you can adapt to the time. You might think certain things are taken away from you, but then new opportunities open up. You know, like actually someone just said to me during COVID, there's the people who are crying, and then there's the people who start to make masks and sell masks. And so it's like there's always something to do. So I think COVID's been interesting to see, all right, when certain doors close, what doors or windows are opening up.